Hello, welcome to another episode of Black Eye 73. I'm Black Eye 73. Today I want to talk about this disturbing story coming out of Iowa. These four people you see on the screen, or these four people you see in the thumbnail, not on the screen. One are accused of killing a black man. He choked him to death down in the basement. And the other three people, that older man and the older woman, you see, they're really not that old. They just look old. The woman 55 and the man 57. They lived a hard life, people. They're some old looking 50-year-olds. And the other young man is 29. The 29-year-old, I'll tell you more about him. But the person who did the killing, his name's Stephen Vaj. He's a 31-year-old person. And they said, according to the reports, that Stephen and Michael was friends. Stephen and Michael were friends. Michael, they don't know what was the cause of his death. They just said Michael went over there to visit and Stephen killed him. The reason the 29-year-old got in trouble because of charges with abuses of course and discretion of evidence and accessory after the fact. They know what I'm saying. Accessory after the fact means you knew the man was dead and you still try to help cover up the body. So they said, according to reports, they said the man who did the killing, Stephen, he went and told other people, he's like, hey, you want to see the body I killed? He took the man down to the basement and showed him the body of Michael Williams. And the two old-looking people who not that old, they said 55 and 57. I know to younger people that like, oh, that old. But people my age in the 40s, like 55, 57 ain't that old. My sister knows my sister and auntie, I got an auntie, she like 55, I think. My sister 51. Y'all don't look nothing like that. They don't look nothing. Them people look like they were up in my grandmother's age when she passed away in the 80s. Ain't no knock on them. Maybe they out there working in the Iowa field, doing some corns or something, or that all on could be meth heads. Could be. I wouldn't put it past them. But these four clowns are the three clowns. They wasn't involved in the killing of Michael. They were involved with throwing Michael in a ditch. Helped throwing Michael in a ditch like he was a darn piece of trash to try to help cover up Stephen murder. These four assholes are these three assholes. And like they ain't know the difference between right and wrong. They've been looking at too many doing stupid crime TV shows, thinking that you can dismember the body or just the body and set it on fire and kill the evidence. Thinking one trace back to them. Y'all need to stop looking at these TV shows. The TV shows is fiction. It's made up by writers who make the detective look down like, hey, I don't know what's going on. What happened? Real life and TV don't match a lot of time. So these freaking people discarded Michael like he wasn't nothing. And according to Michael's ex-wife, that Michael was a lovely family man. He loved his children. And his children wrote how much they loved their dad and how much they spent time with their dad. But these freaking clowns, I'm gonna read you some of this article because you know I like delivering the message that coming from the source. This right here coming from a Fox News, not Fox News, but Fox 23 News in that local area. But I choose my friend wisely. I do. I know you like, what you talking about? I just choose my friend wisely. It's not I don't associate with a lot of people, but I don't need but one male friend. I need one homeboy. That's it. One homeboy. That's it. One person I can call, hey man, what's up? What's going on? That's all I need. But the police trying to say this is not a hate crime. Like, no, this is not a hate crime. Well, they're doing an investigation to see is it a hate crime. Part of my mistake. They trying to see what is a hate crime. But kind of got hate crime written all over it. Cause after he choked Michael to death, he wrapped Michael in a sheet and some plastic and tied some kind of thing around him to hold it in place. Took it out with the help of these meth head looking people. I call it like it is, people. Them people 55 and 57. They shouldn't be looking like that. They shouldn't be looking like they're some old ass people. But they're 55 and 57. I'm one of them people. I ain't not afraid to just mention my age. I'm 47. Nobody 10 years older than me shouldn't be looking like that. Just my opinion. But it ain't about their age. It ain't about their look. I just want to give you a detailed image. Could be, it can also talk about their frame of mind. Because they're not on meth. Them people are alcoholics or something, people. You have to back up out of there and look at the thumbnail again. You're like, yeah, they on something. They ain't just level-headed people. I don't want to use the stereotype saying they're a product of incest. I don't want to say that. But they do it for the southern people all the time. Oh, the people down south, y'all a product of the incest. No. Kind of find out a lot of people up north. But them people, they look weird, people. The lady named Jill Cox and the man named Ron Gardner. The two older people I'm talking about. Who look like they on something. Who might don't be on something, nothing. But they look like they on something though. Yeah, that's a terrible looking people. I know I ain't the best looking person in the world. Not even close to being the best looking person in the world. But not far from it though. But back to the story. I'm gonna go ahead and read some of this article right here. It said, authorities have arrested 4 people in the connection with the death of Michael Williams, the black man whose body was found burning in a ditch near CalArts on September 16th. The 44-year-old Michael death was ruled a homicide by the Division of Criminal Investigation. It says Stephen, I think it's Vogel. It's Vogel, I think. It's Vogel. Stephen Vogel, 31, is charged with first-degree murder and 1 count of abuse of a corpse. Fight my dog. And Julie Cox, 55, is charged with abuse of a corpse, discretion of evidence, and accessory after the fact. And the guy, Roy Gardner, 57, is charged with abuse of a corpse, discretion of evidence, and accessory after the facts. And then Cody Johnson, 29, is charged with abuse of a corpse, discretion of evidence after the facts. Stephen is currently being held in the Marshall County Jail, where he was already incarcerated on other charges, while the other three defendants are being held in another jail. It's a Special Agent Alan DeCamp with the Iowa Department of Public Safety said during the news conference that all four suspects knew and socialized with William. Although a motive has not yet been determined, race is not believed to be a factor. That's a hard one to pass by, saying this ain't no race motivated crime. When you don't kill the man, left him in the basement, dumped him in the ditch, and all four people were white. I don't know. Could be reaching, but they say it's not racial motivated. They say DeCamp also said evidence suggests that William died by strangulations on September the 12th, and that his body was wrapped in cloth, plastic, and carpet, then wrapped in Dutch tape, before his body was transported into a truck in a rural Callard on September 16th and set ablaze. They said a native of Syracuse, New York. William has lived in Iowa for about 12 years and worked at a few fast food restaurants, but worsened diabetes recently left him unemployed. His aunt Paula told the news. They said, she quote, all we wanted was for him to come home. Now we have to bring him home in the worst possible state, end quote. Then she quote, we will fight for justice. This is our family mission. No matter what, we will fight for his legacy to be remembered as who he was. A loving, kind, gentle giant who loved his family, who loved his children, she added. People, person, anybody. I have a male dog that I think I'm gonna put on the market. Cause it's a dude don't know how to stop barking. So I'm gonna give you a little more detail on this. The family the two people they're trying to, the older lady, the 55-year-old and the 57-year-old trying to act like they don't know what was in the carpet. Hold on a moment, please. Dog. What? Go to bed, please. Stop all that noise, man. Stop all that barking for nothing. Come on here, sit down. Have a seat. I'm back. My dog, the neighbors across the street, they opened up their garage. So my dog thinking his business to bark at them. I like to leave the door open and have the blinds open, get that natural light in here, save up on the power bill. So he thinking he the doing neighborhood cop. Every time somebody walk by or the neighbor just open up the garage and put the car out and whatever, he think he's the neighborhood cop saying, hey, what you doing? So he started barking. You see, I try not to fuss at him. I understand he just doing what he think, what Con Natural's doing, like barking at him, like, hey, get out of my street. Even though we the new people on the street. But they said the police investigation found that William was killed on or about September the 12th, and his body was then wrapped in a cloth, plastic, secured with a rope and tape, and taken to Kellogg on September 16th, where it was set ablaze according to the statement. That's in the affidavit supporting the criminal complaint against Stephen. They said Stephen mother Julia Cox, 55, and Roy Lee Gardner, 57, who shared a home with Stephen, with face charges of abuse of court and stuff. Julia Cox, Stephen's mother, told the investigators she helped Stephen take an object wrapped in a brown blanket out of the back of a pickup last Wednesday, before Stephen put it in a ditch. She trying to say, as you see how she worded it, like she didn't know there was a body inside of that thing. Then Gardner said he drove the truck and dropped Stephen off in another town. Then he and cops, his lady Juliet, drove to a rural area where they dumped items from the back of the truck into a ditch, according to the affidavit. Police located the dump site and found plywood, carpet, bleach bottles, rubber glove, plastic, socks, and receipts with Stephen's name, the affidavit said. You see how the mom tried to say, like she didn't know what was in the thing. But then, I don't know if this man his dad or not. They didn't say it was his dad, but they just said, he said we just took things and took it to another part and just threw it in the ditch. They knew both of them were dumping Stephen, and the other one was they took it down the road so they can get rid of evidence. They said the fourth person arrested, 29-year-old Cody, is accused of abusing the course. They said Johnson told police that he went to Stephen's house on September 13th, and they tried to move the body from the basement, according to the affidavit. They said CNN had reached out to the attorney for Stephen for comments. It is unclear whether any of the other arrested have an attorney. They said William, who was also a grandfather, had 5 children. 2 of them named Jamaica and Michael told KCCI they used to take walks with their father. Sometimes we sat on the bench to stop and rest. Jamaica said, my favorite memory about him is always making me laugh. But told KCCI she is trying to hold it together for her kids. My daughter would not let me outside in the dark by myself because she's afraid of losing another parent. The family made Justice for Michael's shirt using a logo designed by his son, who made sure to use the purple, his dad's favorite color. But the town, they canceled college. They canceled college classes in that town. And this is the reason why they canceled college classes in that town. They said they observe to equality, inclusion, and to recognize the violent loss of one of our community, adding that the nation content has been local experience according to the statement from the school president and the school chief diversity officer. They quote, this stark and brutal murder in the national content of racial injustice has sparked intense fear for safety of our Black, Indigenous, and people of color, colleagues, friends, and family, President Ann Harris wrote in a statement. And she quote, we live in a predominantly white community, work in a predominantly white college. The murder of Mr. Williams was an incident in a roar and experience of most Iowans. But for many people of color, this incident is most recent in any history of prejudice, mistreatment, and murder, the statement said. They said in counseling classes, Harris hopes students think of actions that can be taken to build the community and prevent further suffering. Friends of the Williams family started a GoFundMe campaign to raise money to help pay for any expenses that might occur from the investigation to cover the costs of the burial. They initially wanted $10,000, but they have raised over $35,000. Hey, pray for the Michael Williams family. Hope they seek justice. And thank you for watching the video. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, like, share, and hit the notification bell. Until next time, I'll talk to you later. I'm about to go beat up my dog. Not actually beat up my dog. Peter, leave me alone. Drink y'all water, and I'll talk to y'all later.